Let's talk about this now, shall we? On yesterday's show, we were talking about radio, amateur radio, ham radio. Chelsea told us about her mate who's into amateur radio himself. And I mentioned a shop in Barnsley that sells them. Break 19 for a copy, come on.
What do you even say then? Break 19 for a coffee, come on.
For a copy.
For a copy.
And then somebody come back and say, yeah, copy that, break 19.
Come on.
What's your 20? I said, I'm in Mexico City. What's your 20? I'm in Wathendurn. Woohoo. And you're like, well, we communicate.
So Wath didn't have a special name?
Not that I remember. Not that I remember. But I can only really remember Mexico City. It would have done, but I just forgot it.
I've got a friend, I won't say his name.
Here we go.
He's got radios and he speaks to people, but he's got one for the car. So he'll put an antenna on his girlfriend's car and he'll just go around and just speak to people. But he had to do an online exam in order to get a license for it.
Amateur radio.
But he's proper into it, like he loves it. He's like, guess how far I've got this time, guess how far. He loves it.
It's called amateur radio.
Right, okay.
Radio ham. And it used to be huge. I mean, I wanted to do it. That wasn't the thing I wanted to get into. CQDX. And I love all that. In fact, there's radio amateur clubs in there. You can go along and just have a play. It's good.
Maybe I should link you up with Josh.
There's a massive...
What's his name?
Josh.
Oh.
There's a massive radio ham shop in Barnsley, one of the biggest in the country.
Really?
On Doncaster Road, yeah. Well, Josh is on the phone now. Morning, Josh.
Good morning, Toby. How are you, mate? You all right?
Well, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
So tell us about your radios that got Chelsea all so excited.
Yeah, no, it's all good stuff, man. It's all good stuff. It's, I mean, the terminology you were using there, Toby, is more for the CB, without being snobby and what have you. But
you're more CQDX.
To be honest, I'll do anything, Toby. I'll do anything, but I do like the CQDX because you can get all over the world with that. Spoke to America. All over Europe. I've not got Australia yet, though. That's on my list, that one.
And I mean, I've got to be honest with you, I do find it fascinating, if I'm honest, in that it is a thing where you can sit there and you can talk on your radio to people in the States, to people all over the world, and there is just something wonderful and almost like you're like an explorer.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because, I mean, when I were a lot younger, I wanted to do radio in, like, the sense that you're doing it. And that used to fascinate me, as in, like, you know, there's all these signals and you can listen to music or you can listen to people having a conversation. And then my dad told me about CB when I was about 13. And I said to him, well, can we get one? He says, nah, son, there's nobody on. You won't hear a thing. He says, everyone's got mobile phones now. I said, fair enough. And then as I got older, I got my own house, lockdown coming. I thought, right, I'm going to finally buy one and have a listen, you know, see if there's anyone out there. And there is. There's people still out there on these radios. So went and got my license and, here I am today.
And there's, because of course people will say, well, hang on a minute, I can speak to somebody in Australia now within 2 minutes on the net. Without a shadow of a doubt, that would be easy. I'd just go on to some Australian forum and I could be speaking to people in Perth. But there's just something different in there. There's a romance about it.
Yeah. I mean, with a mobile phone, it's a dead certain that you're going to get through to someone. Do you know what I mean? But with radio, it's without getting too deep into it and terminology, maybe you're using a lot of atmospheric conditions. It's called propagation. So, for example, I've spoken to people in New York before, and you're halfway through conversation, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. You know, a cloud's gone over or atmosphere's dropped, and you're right. It's just a buzz. That's all I can describe it. It's just a buzz.
You've done your amateur radio license. How hard was that to do, and how easy is it to get a setup that allows you to talk to people in New York?
So it's the exam. It's done through an organisation called RSGB, which is Radio Society Great Britain, and then I think it's about 28 questions. I might be wrong on that one. It's a couple of years ago since I did, but it's 3 levels. So you have a foundation, an intermediate, and a full license. The foundation is the license that I have. It gives you access to most of the sort of the bands out there, but you're just limited to 10 watts in regards to how much power you're putting out. And then that goes up to about 400, I think, in the UK. But the exam is it's multiple choice questions. A lot of it's based on in the foundation. A lot of it's based on the license conditions. So, you know, where you can use the radio, what power you can use, who you can talk to, etc. And then there's still it touches on electrics as well, electronics, and you know, wattage and that, because you've got to know a little bit about electric whilst you know, putting out electrical signals, basically. And
how far can you get them with a 10-watt radio?
I've done America on 10 watts.
Wow.
Again, it's all to do with conditions. And for example, there's a competition on at the moment called contesting, they call it, where you know, try and get as far as you can. The guy in Saudi Arabia coming on, and I can hear him, but as soon as he stops talking, I can hear about a million other people trying to get him. So in that scenario, I ain't getting through on 10 watts. It's not happening. Yeah, I've done every country I've done far. It's like America, Brazil, Argentina, etc. I've done all that on 10 watts.
I honestly find it fascinating. I can't believe I've never really taken it anywhere. I've never done it. I'm definitely going to. What's the best way to get into it? Is the best way to get to listen in first, or can you just jump straight in?
The best way now sort of restrictions listed and what have you, is to get down to a local radio club, I would say. They've got them in Sheffield. I go to the Worktop Radio Club, and they've got all the kit there, so you can have a listen on. Good thing with radio is if you're with someone who's full license or you're at a radio club, whilst you're being supervised, you can use the radio, so you can give it a go, see if you like it. And you know, if you do, sit your license and you know, get into it and get yourself all above board.
It's fascinating stuff, Josh. Thanks very much indeed for your time this morning, mate. Really do appreciate it. It's Toby Brooks. It's BBC Radio Sheffield.